Winemaker's Daughter is a narrative. It is the closest thing to a concept record that I've ever done without actually being a concept record. The Winemaker's Daughter, from a literal standpoint, is my wife. But I hope to those who are listening, the Winemaker's Daughter can be whoever you want it to be. I write a lot of songs about my wife. She's kind of my main point of inspiration. So as I started to piece these songs together for this collection, it became really obvious that this was going to be a record about her. And a lot of these songs came from a time in our lives with a lot of change. We were growing up. We went from our early 20s to now we're both 27 and married. And it felt like I kind of needed to pay tribute to that period of our lives.
Can't plan for the heat, can't plan for the rain, but I plan to make you mine.
The songs on this record definitely came from very different points of time. Some of the first songs, like Something to Hold, they came from 2016, 2017, when my wife and I were still in school. We were working multiple jobs in our early 20s, and I wrote that in our kitchen, just kind of as we were living in this little apartment in Charlottesville. So there's songs like that, and there's songs that I wrote on the eve of our wedding, and there's songs that I wrote after our wedding, in a time where we were much more involved in like a professional adult life. So they span many years, but they're all from phases of a relationship.
Winemaker's Daughter. Red, white,
Although the songs are, for the most part, about our relationship, I always try and write in a way that's universal and accessible for other people. So I took little tidbits of our relationship and put them into all these songs, and certain things we did that we shared specifically together inspired a lot of these songs, but they're from phases that I think a lot of people have been through or will go through. Be it the times that my wife and I were traveling, or when she beat cancer for the second time. Like, there are universal truths in this record, like the struggles we go through in life, that I think will apply to a lot of people, even if they're not in a relationship.
whispering. Baby, bring on the rains, baby, bring on the thunder.
So the first, third of the album is very innocent. It's just us in love and young, and we're tired and having a good time. And then it goes to her getting sick again, and this kind of shift in our innocence where we kind of lost it. We got a little more cynical, and we had to face some things and some struggles that we definitely didn't want to face, that I think a lot of young people don't have to face, and that's a good thing, but we did. And then it goes from that, kind of moves forward with a lens that's a little more adult. The innocence is kind of gone, and that's, my wife and I went through a lot of that. Like, we still struggle with kind of seeing a positive light on things, because we've been through some really crappy times, and she's been dealt some tough hands. So the rest of the record kind of looks through things with perseverance, but also a more realistic eye. I don't explain it to you. It's about my wife, I don't want to make it more than it is. I could be like, it's a metaphor for the Winemaker's Daughter is about my wife. There's your wrap up.